I made over 100K profit with Amazon FBA my first year from scratch, but if I could go back in time, here are 5 things I wish someone told me. Because the truth is, I wasted tons of time and money making the same old mistake tons of new sellers make, and you will too if you don't watch this video. By the end of this video, you'll walk away with my 5-step blueprint to make your first 100K in half the time it took me. Let's get right into it. Most people fail with Amazon FBA before they even get started, and that comes down to choosing the wrong business model. All the gurus on social media talk about doing Amazon wholesale and Amazon private label, which take way too much startup capital for beginners and are pretty much impossible to see results fast. Amazon wholesalers, when you buy in bulk from manufacturers and distributors and ship it off to the Amazon warehouse where they handle the rest. The problem with this is the bulk part. Buying products in bulk when you're a complete beginner is way too expensive and risky. Amazon private label is buying raw, unbranded product from China and creating your own brand on Amazon. The problem with this is you need a ton of money to get started, and when you actually get the product over from China, which takes a while, you have to do copywriting, you have to create your listing, and you have to spend a bunch of money on ads. And so I know what you're thinking. What's the fix for this? Amazon online arbitrage. Buying discounted name brand products to flip for a profit on Amazon from big retail websites like Kohl's, Walmart, and Target. The big thing is that we don't create our own product, we don't run any ads, we don't spend a bunch of money up front. All we do is find these products customers are already searching for on Amazon.com that have proven sales history and proven profitability, and we don't have to buy in bulk. When I got started, I was just buying 5, 10, or 15 units of a specific product, and we don't just sell one product, we sell dozens of different products at the same time. This is the exact model I used to make over $100,000 profit in my first 10 months. It doesn't need as much capital, it's way quicker to get started, and helps you stack some wins early in the game without taking a bunch of risk. But even if you pick the right model, you'll fail without this next skill. Now for step 2 of the blueprint, mastering product researches. The problem is tons of beginners get started without Seller Amp and Keepa, which are absolutely crucial for Amazon product research. Tons of new sellers think they have to pay for expensive and complicated software, hire virtual assistants when they don't even know how to source themselves, or pay for leads lists, which always end up price tanking anyway. And to make matters worse, they eyeball trends, they think products are gonna be good just based on what they think is gonna be good. No, focus on the data. What most people don't realize is Amazon FBA is a data game. There's like over 1 million current Amazon sellers, and if you don't do the right things, you're gonna fail like so many people do. But if you're actually serious about being able to change your life, experience freedom like I have, and make some really good money online, it's really important to understand that product research is absolutely the key to success. But it's not just getting started looking for products. People always talk about all these complicated methods. No. What makes the most sense to do, guys, is the storefront stalking method, where we just take a page out of other sellers' books and look inside their storefronts to find their own profitable items. When we do the storefront stalking method, which I talk about in a ton of my videos, you can see the exact winning products other sellers are selling already in their catalog, and the beautiful thing about the online arbitrage model is we can go ahead and sell those products ourselves. Whenever you find an item with a good best sellers rank, aka sales rank, which is how fast a product sells, make sure you stay below 200,000. You want to go ahead and Google that product and see what websites actually carry that item. Luckily, in most cases, it's pretty much only 1 or 2, and you'll hear me say that in all my other product research videos as well. But then it comes down to the idea that we don't just find winning products, we make winning products. Winning products, in my opinion, are a lie. You don't find them, you create them using the different discount methods. What you need to understand is that every website has 1 or 2 tips and tricks that create the profit margin on these different products, like different holiday sales that happen with Father's Day, 4th of July, and Prime Day coming up, coupon codes that you can find using free coupon and cashback extensions like Capital One Shopping, using discounted gift cards to increase your profit margins from sites like Cardbear and Top Cashback, submitting your reseller certificate to sites or even stores when you're doing retail arbitrage that accept it to avoid sales tax, and using other less common discounts like subscribe and save, wholesale programs, bulk buying programs, etc. The people making money consistently, they don't find winning products, they find stuff they know sells well on Amazon, and then they make those items profitable using those different discount mechanisms. That's the #1 problem I see with my new coaching students all the time, is that they think they find winning products, they don't make winning products, and I just hook them up with the different discount mechanisms for all the different websites, and before they know it, they're sourcing tons of profitable inventory around the clock. And while all these tools and discounts are essential, there's something even more valuable that completely changed my Amazon online arbitrage journey. Trust me, Amazon FBA can be lonely. I'm from a small town in Pennsylvania and I've never met another Amazon seller walking around. Although I do live in Miami right now, I have moved since I grew my online business. The thing is, it doesn't have to be lonely. We can all agree, you're the product of the 5 people you spend the most time with. But the crazy thing is, so many people start selling on Amazon and they never hang out or converse with any other Amazon sellers, and then they wonder why it's so hard. That's why I always recommend being active in the community and just getting around other Amazon sellers. Well-connected Amazon sellers have a lot more fun, they make more profit, they find more opportunity, and they avoid less mistakes. It's a great thing. When I tried selling on Amazon on my own, I made so many mistakes, getting scammed by different suppliers and just different people I met online, spending hours doing product research that wasn't really successful, buying products that I totally shouldn't have bought, but because I was doing it on my own, I did. But everything changed once I figured out there was a community on Twitter and Instagram of people who were super interested in financial freedom in Amazon FBA just like me. I got active online and started sharing my journey, and because very, very few people do it, people started to resonate with what I was doing. I wasn't teaching how to do it like I do now. I was simply documenting my journey, not creating content, just showing what I was doing, and people started rocking with me. I started getting in different DM groups and different masterminds. I even met the homie's Wi-Fi astronaut at All Out Amazon, who I was literally in his wedding just a couple years later. We'll pop up the picture here on screen. Been able to connect with so many sellers in person at Miami Sellers Conference, as well as the ASD trade show in Las Vegas, and even just make lifelong friends, which has made this so much more of a rewarding journey. And I'm sure you're thinking, okay, but if I document what I'm doing online, won't that saturate the market? And truth be told, my friend, literally hundreds of billions of dollars worth of products are sold on Amazon every single year. And the crazy thing is, most people don't know that over 60% of products sold on Amazon come from everyday people like you and I, third-party sellers working at home on our laptops. So trust me, you finding a couple homies to hop on Zoom calls and Discord calls with to source some products and make this stuff more fun won't make a difference, but it will make a difference on your income. Once I found the right business model, started sourcing the right way, and found some homies to work with, my income really went up. But when the money started flowing in, I hit a new wall. And it was all because I wasn't tracking this one thing. If you want to succeed selling on Amazon, you need to track your numbers like a CFO. It's very easy to view revenue as profit and not know the exact number that you're actually making. You probably hear all these gurus on Amazon showing like their big sales numbers, but that's not the profit. You should aim for between a 10 and 20% profit margin with the online arbitrage model. And the nice thing is that's actually significantly less complex than other models, because remember guys, we're not doing any ads, so we don't need any creative stuff, we don't need to make our own products. Literally all we're doing is finding deals. But you have to make sure you're tracking your numbers correctly, because it's very easy to end up backwards one month, especially as a beginner, because you didn't know your numbers correctly. And there's 2 main ways to actually track your numbers and know you're actually doing things correctly. It's using inventory management on Boxen, which is our listing, shipping, and analytics software to manage all your products and know the items you're selling are actually profitable, as well as tracking your leads over time using the Google Sheets feature on SellerAmp, because when you do a lot of product research, all the time you're gonna find products that are close to being good, but they're not quite there, or they're totally profitable, they're just out of stock, and so many new sellers will find stuff like that and not be able to buy it today and just keep scrolling. No, add that to a SellerAmp Google Sheet and it's gonna make things significantly easier. The grass is greener where you water it, and make sure you're tracking your data. Doing all this stuff was what allowed me to improve my actual profit margin in my business. And now for step 5 of the blueprint, one of the most underrated hacks and something every experienced Amazon seller hits super hard that newbies sleep on, the one that made me my first $100,000 revenue month, is taking advantage of the different seasons on Amazon. I wanna make this very clear. Not every month is created equal. February and March are some of the slow times of the year, but July and August for Prime Day and back to school season, as well as November and December for Q4, which is the big holiday season where there's early Black Friday sales, Black Friday and Cyber Monday sales, and all that Christmas demand, is when things get really crazy and you need to step up to the plate and swing hard. So taking advantage of these big seasonal opportunities, it kind of takes me back to my first year as a seller. I went to the Miami Sellers Conference, the first ever one. I saw these guys I had followed on Instagram for years, and I was like, those guys are doing 100K months, 500K months, and I haven't done that yet. And the crazy thing is, guys, with back to school season and demand going crazy, I got back from the Miami Sellers Conference and I sold over 100,000 in just 2 weeks, which was over $15,000 profit, and completely changed my life and really showed me that I can totally do this full time. And then a few months later, I did over 300,000 in 1 month for over 50K profit during Christmas demand in 2021, when Q4 and Christmas demand goes absolutely insane. A big tip for Prime Day and back to school as well as the fourth quarter of the year, guys, is taking advantage of selling products merchant fulfilled on Amazon. So you always hear people talk about selling products on Amazon FBA, where we ship products to ourselves, then use box them to ship them off in bulk to the Amazon FBA warehouse. But merchant fulfilled is a crazy hack during big times of seasonal demand, because with merchant fulfilled, we don't have to wait for the products to check into the Amazon FBA warehouse. We just ship them directly to the customer. This is not always possible because Amazon wants you to sell products Amazon FBA, but during these big seasonal opportunities, a lot of FBA sellers will sell out, leading to more FBM demand being on the table. So rather than waiting 1 to 2 weeks for the products to check into FBA, I would just drive around, not even buy stuff online, literally just go in store, buy stuff in FBM at that same day. One time I went to my local Dick's Sporting Goods and picked up like $500 worth of profit and literally just drove to my local UPS and fulfilled the orders right there because I already had them sold in advance. So you just learned the 5 things I wish I knew before starting Amazon FBA. And I'm sure you might be thinking, okay, how do I get started with this like ASAP? And there's 2 ways you can go ahead and do that. You can watch more free content on my channel, which totally works. I've helped tons of people get started just off that. Or if you want personalized one-on-one coaching directly from me, we got Prime Day coming up, back to school coming up, Q4 after that, and I'd love to work with you one-on-one if that's something you're interested in. So at the top link in the description, I'll leave the application for my private coaching program, where I'll hook you up with all my favorite coupons, tips, tricks, and strategies, answer any questions, check your leads for you, get you around other Amazon sellers that are crushing the game, and I'm the only Amazon coach that actually does one-on-one product sourcing Zoom calls with all my students. So if that's something you're interested in, go ahead down below to the first link in the description, put in your information and apply. Let me know any questions down below in the comments too about any of this stuff or building an Amazon business in general. Make sure to subscribe for more, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks so much for watching.